Hello everyone! Today on Binky's Gaming Thoughts, I will conclude the suit of swords with the court royals. Page, Knight, Queen, and King of Swords. The Page of Swords. The image is of coal when made more human. For the Rider-Waite miniature decks, it is also called the Page of Swords, and for the Green Witch Tarot, it is called the Page of Athames. It's significant that coal be the page, as usually a page is a young boy, sometimes represented in certain decks as a young girl. The card itself is either a girl or boy, and coal is perhaps the youngest member of the Inquisition, as more human, more physical, with of course his daggers, since he's the assassin specialization class. The card itself represents women aged 36 or younger, adaptability, assertiveness, honesty, messages, proving abilities, language skills, the beginnings of independent thinking, risk, exploring the realm of ideas, a series or change, etc. Well, when coal becomes more human, it is a major change to what he has always known. When reversed, the card represents imprisonment, gossip, spying, a change of plans, an unfinished project, lack of discernment, resistance, aimlessness, inner turmoil, excessive secrecy, learning deficiency, etc. Let's have a look at the symbolism of the card. Surrounded by the purity of white, he stands with a hand on his breast. It is a show of submission as he submits to his human form and identity. Yet he is not powerless, as he wears a body black, marked by golden symbols, reflecting the material world. He still retains his spirited abilities, yet, like his brooch pins his collar, he is pinned to the human world. In his eyes, a dark ember reveals his shadow side that he may yet visit when he assassinates his enemies. What do I think this means for the future of coal? Well, I think as a human, there is less of a risk that he be turned into a demon. He experiences being a human while still being able to help others. But then he can be killed, no? I think he's going to be in a future game. It will be interesting to see the interaction with him as more human, with someone else other than the Inquisitor. What do I think this means for the future of Dragon Age? His ability to read people's minds and connection to the Fade may be what we need to help people like Solus and to learn more about important people. Who knows? The Knight of Swords. The image is of Cullen. The Rider-Waite and miniature decks are called Knight of Swords as well, and for the Green Witch Tarot it is called the Knight of Athames. In terms of significance, well, this is another obvious one since Cullen was Knight Captain of the Templar Order of Satan, and he does lead the troops of the Inquisition. The card itself represents men aged 36 or older, a high-minded individual, swift action, being self-assured, clever, logical and concentrated, aggressive energy, boldness and courage, quick implementation of ideas, being vocal, wise, etc. Cullen always did strike me as a bold and courageous man to change after the Circle and Kirkwall and to quit lyrium, to face his addiction and quit lyrium. When reversed, the card represents being dull and uninspiring, impulsiveness, a quick temper, being headstrong, weakness, confusion, impractical ideas, being a show-off, failure, abandonment, illness, deception, unprincipled in the pursuit of goals, etc. Let's have a look at the symbolism of the card itself. Eyes looking heavy, he stares ahead, as though aware of the burdens he carries as the commander of the soldiers and knights. Brandishing a sword, he is clad in heavy armor as he steels his heart. Red draped around him symbolizes life and death, while a flower on one side gives hope that his efforts will flourish into positive and constructive changes. A flag blows with the wind, red and black, whilst green brings healing. He stands grounded and ready to accept any challenges and responsibilities. What do I think this means for the future of Cullen? He steps away from the Templar Order, if he's still alive, that is, and proves that one does not need to be dependent on lyrium. He finds freedom of sorts in that way. He's proof that the Order can step away from the corruption it became. He will lead by example and play an important role in the next game, I believe. Perhaps even be a companion. That would be fun. It only makes sense that he be part of the group to travel with the Inquisitor to Tevinter. And that's the fate of Thedas as well, the future of Dragon Age. The Queen of Swords. The image is of Leliana. For the Rider-Waite in miniature decks, it is also called the Queen of Swords, and for the Greenwich Tarot, it is called the Queen of Athames. Well, Leliana, rogue and left hand of the divine, spy master of the Inquisition, former bard and assassin of Orlais, she commands a squad of agents and is quite powerful, with both daggers and arrows. Is it any wonder then that she be the Queen of Swords? The card itself represents women aged 36 or older, a keen perception, being analytical, observant, planning, precise, detached and unemotional, self-determined, a biting humor, counselors and advisors, etc. Leliana as the spy master is certainly perceptive and everything else this card represents. When reversed, the card represents being calculated, fussy, accuracy, penetration, poor judgment, micromanaging, being impractical, suspicious and isolated, loss of composure, ill-tempered, narrow-minded, etc. Let's have a look at the symbolism of the card. Focused within a circle like a compass, she hugs herself. Swords, orange like her hair, act as rays from the symbolic sun, as she is, after all, the left hand of the divine. Her determination embodied by the vibrant colors, her vulnerabilities exposed, yet she wears a hood, she is draped, for she is also spy master. She gestures with a finger in front of her to keep quiet, for she holds many secrets. A crow, perched atop her shoulder, symbolizes the death this rogue brings onto her enemies. It also represents the messenger, as it sends forth and brings word to and from her network of spies. Below, we see a seeker knight riding a steed, most likely her friend, the right hand of the divine, reminding us of the ever-sought truth which has been kept secret for many ages. But she, the left hand, is the queen of secrets, the queen of spies, the queen of stealth, the queen of swords. What I think this means for Leliana, I think she will continue to be our spy master, regardless of whether she is divine or not. And she will work from the shadows to help us find allies whom Solus does not know. I think what this means for the future of Dragon Age is having a network of spies will be very important. Solus has spies, so why wouldn't we? The Kunari have spies. We need spies to find, uncover, and protect the truth. And last but not least, the King of Swords. The image is the Inquisitor. The custom difficulty is the image associated with the Inquisitor. For the Rider-Waite and miniature decks, it is also called the King of Swords, and for the Greenwich Tarot deck, it is called the King of Athames. In terms of significance, well, this one goes without say. The Inquisitor leads and commands armies of knights, mages, Templars, rogues, and is at the head of the Inquisition. Duh, because it's the Inquisitor, making all the difficult decisions, judging people who have wronged the Inquisition, not to mention succeeding every fight. Otherwise, the game wouldn't continue. We wouldn't get very far as players if that. The card itself represents men aged 36 or younger, being formal, tireless, and talkative, legal matters and official documents, contracts and licenses and registrations, authority, being shrewd, problem-solving, social, etc. As Inquisitor, we sure love talking with our companions, and we take care of all of the legislative matters. We are the authority. When reversed, the card represents self-absorption, dominating over others, being authoritarian, severity, willful, haughty, failure to accept needed assistance, selfishness, maliciousness, loss of friendship, refusal to assist others, and that sort of thing. Let's have a look at the symbolism of the image of the card. A smaller circle overlaps a larger compass-looking one, outlined with gold, decorating a helmet, reflective of the Inquisitor's courage. The large circle denotes the chantry and the maker, with its polka dot rays, a symbol defining the Herald of Andraste. In the smaller circle shines the eye and sword of the seekers of truth, as the Inquisitor hunts for truth. The herald's strength is embodied by the powerful black of the helmet and smoke around it. The Inquisitor is the life of the Inquisition, the reason it became what it was, and the reason it will continue to be a reminder that truth is power. What I think this means for the future of the Inquisitor. Aside from searching for allies whom Solus does not know, I believe the Inquisitor will search for more clues and answers, more truth. What do I think this means for the future of Dragon Age? Well, the Inquisitor might become an advisor for our future character, and potentially a scholar searching the texts for answers as we do. And it has been confirmed by BioWare that we will be playing a new protagonist. We will have a new character. So it only makes sense that the Inquisitor would be an advisor. And that concludes the Suit of Swords. Throughout the week, I'll be releasing the music from this video. In the description below, I have the links to the decks, plus the books I used to determine what the cards actually represent, which are The Path of the Fool by Michael Sarian and The Greenwich Tarot Companion by Anne Mora. And like this video if you like it. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Share if you want to share. All the usual stuff. And I'll see you all soon. Masaranas. be sure to check out some of my other stuff. And remember, to buy video games at a discounted price and support me at no additional cost to you, just follow my G2A affiliate link. You can also join in on the fun on Patreon for some exclusive content. Thanks for tuning in.